Well, hello, my creative peeps. It's Craftin' Just Because with Chris Cowan. I'm going to show you how easy it is to create some of these paper flowers out of the paper bouquet kit. And then later this week, I'll take Stampin' Up! Paper and we'll make a vase to put them in. But I just wanted to start out showing you how to make a couple of the flowers. So it tells you what you need for each flower. Now do keep in mind, I'm going to give you a couple ideas to keep it a little simple. Like example, you don't want to bone fold the leaves before you put them on, even though it says to do that. I found that I ripped them easier when I didn't. So it comes with the craft wire, the beads, and all the pieces to make the flowers. And then there's additional leaves to add at the end, which I'm not going to do that part today. But I do have some glue finger protectors and my hot glue gun, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing you want to do, let's make this pink flower first. So you want a yellow bead, it tells you. So you're going to put the yellow bead onto your wire, and then you're going to fold it kind of like in half, like this. But what I want to do is I want to try to keep that as tight as possible. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to fold that wire right up under that bead, just like that, okay? And then I'm going to twist the wire around the rest of my, and I'm finding it difficult to do with my little hot glue protectors. Okay, let's try this again. So I'm just gonna do this, and then we're gonna put a dab of hot glue on it too to keep it in place. And I'll show you what I mean. I'm being extra careful with the glue because last week I did burn myself pretty good doing a few of these flowers. Okay, I'm also gonna take some of my wire piece here and just kind of flatten that out. Okay, so now I'm going to put my protectors back on, and I'm just going to take a tiny bit of hot glue and just glue that in place. Put some glue in the middle there. Okay, so the next what we're going to do is we need some of these yellow. So there's different lengths. If you see, there's small, and there's a really long one. We're going to use the small one, and you're just going to wrap that around this bead. So I'm going to start by putting a tiny bit of glue right there on the bead. And then do that, and then just wrap that around your bead. And it's crepe paper is what those pieces are made out of, so you can stretch them. And then I'm going to add a little bit more glue. And then I'm going to kind of come in with my finger and kind of bunch it out, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to start adding your flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and you just put your flower through the bottom, and then you're going to glue that in place. Okay, then you're going to add your next flower. And then glue in place. I'm only adding a teeny tiny bit. And then you add your next flower. So then we got our 3 flower petals down. Okay, and then we're going to add our little green stem. So I'm going to put glue all the way around it. And I'm going to come in and add my stem and then use, okay. And then what I did is I came in and very gently just started working my flowers petals, keeping my finger underneath to kind of keep them in place. Sorry if I wasn't on camera. I'm going to add a little bit more glue and just kind of push those up there, up against my middle piece. And that's our first flower. Okay, and then we're just going to set that aside. Okay, so let's try another one. Let's try the white one. So I'm going to take another stem, a bead, okay, I'm going to cross it right under the bead here, just like so. Sorry if I get off camera for a second. Like I said, I'm just trying to pull it towards me. Okay, and then I'm going to add a little bit of glue into the hole. And then on this one, we want to do a short black one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Okay. And I'm just going to wrap that around my bead. I'm going to bring in my wire pieces and kind of smash that end down. Okay, and then we're going to get ready to glue down that stem there. And then I'm going to try to fluff it out just like so. Okay, and then this time we want, I guess they're not white, they're it's the new in color, I forget what it's called. I'm looking to see if it says it on the back. The Secret Sea. Okay, so then you're going to take and put your bottom leaf down onto it, and I'm going to kind of hold that in place and glue. Let me try to glue this side. Okay, then we'll do the next leaf and put that through. And again, I'm going to add glue down. Okay, and then we'll add the last one. These are harder to do on camera than I kind of anticipated, so I'm sorry if I'm in and out of the screen. And then we're going to add one of the green stem pieces. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did on the last one, I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm going to just very lightly curve in the petals. These are made out of like a thicker tissue paper, so you do need to be careful with them. Okay, and then I'm gonna just kind of squeeze them, and I'm going to add a little bit more glue here. Okay, so now we have our 2 flowers, and see, they'll be so pretty when they're all together. Let's try one more, okay? So we're gonna take this one. Let's do the orange one. That one's got the big center. Oh, dang it. And we want a blue bead. Okay. And I'm gonna just these are so hard to do on camera. Okay. Okie dokie. And then we'll put a little bit of glue in this one again. Okay. This time we need a long black one. And we'll start with one end. And we'll just start wrapping. Okay, and then I'm going to put glue down. Ooh, owie, owie, owie. Already got myself again. Okay. And then I'm gonna mash those up. And then we're just going to do the same thing that we've done on all of them, the other ones. We're going to take our orange leaves and you're going to work them up and around. And I'm going to kind of add a little bit of glue. And then add our second leaf. And add a little bit more glue. We'll add our third leaf. But I just wanted to show you guys how easy these are to put together, so don't be intimidated by the projects. Okay, and then again, I'm just kind of pushing those up, and then let's add our stem. And then I'll start working my bone folder over those leaves again. And I'm leaving the stems long for right now until I see how long I need for my vase. Okay. And then let's okay, the more you play with them, the better they'll look. But look how pretty. Those are our 3 so far. So can you imagine a whole bouquet of them? So go ahead and try this for yourself. I will come back with the finished project, or all the flowers done, and we'll create a vase for these. But until next time, my creative peeps, I will see you later. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And remember, stay awesome. Bye-bye.